So today is my 2008 daily trash pickup here at my temporary home park. It is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. No trash out here, and this is why I can't have this be my temporary home park, because I've been out here for about 45 minutes now and I don't see any litter. This is not a hiking trail in which a lot of people visit. From what I can tell, there aren't any major tourist attraction-y waterfalls in the canyon up next to us, and so we just don't get all that much visitation in this park, again, from what I can tell. This place is under pretty much a soft closure. They're asking people to stay away. And we're going to talk about that. That's exactly the topic of today's video, because when it comes to these kinds of hiking trails, you really can't stop people from going out into the wilderness. They have a right as an American to be in their natural spaces, even during conditions like this. On the sign at the entrance of the park, even though the gates are wide open and people drive in, on the sign that says the park is closed, and it says the park is closed because of bad air quality. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm breathing in this air deep. These are fresh Santa Ana winds. They're not uber powerful, but they are fresh Santa Ana winds. And I don't see any dust blowing around. It's not strong enough for that. It's not going to cause valley fever. But the air quality is zero out here. Zero. This is like some of the freshest air you can get in Southern California during these types of conditions. And so that's a problem, because the sign says the air quality is bad and people walk outside and they know that that is not the case. So, something I have learned over the years is scientists may be experts at their own field, but they are horrible at communication. I hope you can hear what I'm talking about right now as we get hit by probably a 30-mile-an-hour wind gust out here. They're horrible at communication. They're horrible at teaching the general public their field of study, partially because they feel like they've spent so much time trying to understand it themselves that the general public can't understand it unless they invest the same amount of time and go to the same school and get the same degree. And I don't believe that as a scientific communicator. I'm taking my video. I've been sitting here for about 5 minutes just trying to catch my breath after walking up this hill, and I'm just in the middle of like an episode of Strong Winds. It was calm for 5 minutes out here. I hope you guys can hear my video. I hope so. But anyways, when I communicate public safety information, how strong is this rainstorm going to be? How strong is this windstorm going to be? How strong is this hurricane or wildfire, any information like that, how strong is it going to be? I never err on the side of caution, or at least I am very careful about doing so. Erring on the side of caution erodes public trust. It makes people not take your warning seriously because they start to detect that you're erring on the side of caution. Right? Think about that sign at the bottom of this park in the canyon down there. It says the air quality is bad. Well, maybe the next town over, where it rained toxic ash after 6,000 homes were burned to the ground. But up here, almost upstream of Altadena, the atmosphere air is beautiful. It's perfect. But they're erring on the side of caution on the signs below because that's just what they're trained to do as a entity of public service. We all trust our local governments in some way to take care of us, to empty our trash cans, to put out a fire when a fire starts, to monitor air quality levels, to warn us about storms, to maintain our roads, to build trails and maintain the trails. And to err on the side of caution makes it difficult to communicate just how bad a situation is. It's why I don't do it. Like I've told you guys, I've known for years that this wildfire was coming for Altadena. I certainly didn't expect it to take 6,000 homes down. I knew it would take about 100 homes down. I knew it would torch Eden Canyon. I knew the Nature Center could burn again. It had burned in the past. But I knew that I needed to leave a lot of room, a lot of extreme adjectives out of my forecasts because there would be a time where they were really truly necessary for a huge number of people. That's important. Think about my windstorm scale that I created, right? I just call it the windstorm index. It's only in use here in the San Gabriel Valley. It's only in use by myself. Because nothing exists. There's no windstorm scale that the US government uses at all. And I would like them to adopt my scale and maybe make suggestions on where it can be improved. Think about how powerful that windstorm was that struck Altadena. That was smashing cars with trees. That snapped that concrete traffic light on the corner of Orange Grove and Altadena Drive. You know what I rated that on a scale of 1 to 5? A low end 4. A windstorm that destroyed 6,000 homes, killed 17 people. It was a low end 4. And I know that because I have weather stations. Well, I don't have the weather stations, but there are weather stations positioned throughout the area that are recording wind speeds and can allow me to put windstorms in different boxes of how strong they were. I'm not an air quality expert. I love my school, it was great. That air quality class was the easy A of easy A's. I took it my last semester when I was online. I never knew what an easy A class was until I took that class. I mean, I learned a lot. There was good information, but even if it was a difficult class, I'm not an air quality expert. I haven't been doing this for years. And I don't feel comfortable talking about air quality because I know how much information it took, how much learning, how many hours I put in to speak to others about Santa Ana windstorms and meteorology and climate change. And one class at university is not enough to be an expert on a topic like that. I am thoroughly disappointed with the way we are communicating how dangerous this toxic ash is. Because this is like Act 3 of our wildfire, right? Act 1 was the wildfire itself. Act 2 is going to be the mudslides. But the toxic ash might not have a huge impact now. Years or even decades down the line, we could be talking about thousands of people developing cancers and respiratory illnesses, lifelong respiratory illnesses because of this ash. That's Act 3. And I feel let down by air quality experts because nobody is communicating how dangerous this is in a proper way. For instance, there was that Caltech professor that made a post about how he found ash in his driveway and said, "You think there's lead in here? You betcha. You think there's asbestos in here? Oh yeah. Okay. Where's your driveway, sir? Is it in my neighborhood? Is it in Bungalow Heaven? Is it by the Rose Bowl? If it's in South Pasadena? Where's your driveway? What does it mean that there's toxic ash in your driveway? Was it just bad air quality during the windstorm itself, and if you breathed in that air, you could develop cancer in 20 years? Or is just the virtue of that ash being on the ground today, 2 weeks after the fire, a big problem for people? Nothing. What I just said was the extent of this Caltech professor's post, which goes back to the idea that scientists are not good communicators. Which neighborhoods are in danger? Certainly not the neighborhood right below us. I mean, these are fresh Santa Ana winds coming out of the mountains that pose zero air quality threats whatsoever. This community is not impacted. Do they know it? I don't know. None of the air quality experts are able to communicate this. Which neighborhoods are in true danger? Was it exceedingly dangerous that night of the fire and it isn't anymore? Is it matter how close you are to the burned down homes? There's so many questions that aren't being answered because I guess air pollution experts just don't know how to answer them. But I've been watching these videos and they are going on and on and on about how toxic the air quality is. For who? How bad? Which neighborhoods? What does all of this mean? I don't know. I'm filling your ear with all this stuff. It just makes me sad that in the year 2025, we don't have people testing the air quality in every third block in Altadena, Pasadena, Sierra Madre, Alhambra, South Pasadena, Eagle Rock, yada, 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 all these communities, and bringing live updates every 3 hours of how safe it is to breathe the air outside. Should everybody be wearing a mask? Should everybody be staying inside? Can you exercise in these conditions? Nothing. We have a lot of work to do as a community, as a nation, to do this right next time. Because there will be a next time. There will be another town destroyed epically by a wildfire like this. It'll probably never happen in Altadena again. But in 14 years, it could be La Crescenta. Next year, it could be, I don't know, Aspen, Colorado. Who knows? We've got to be better at this. We've got to improve on our scientific communication. It means everything in the fight against climate change. It means everything in the adaptation to climate change. It means everything for people's health and sanity. We've got to be better at this. Day 2008 here in the amazing San Gabriel Mountains.